So today we are revising the 1st of March 1983, Bab Dada's Avyakt Murli. The title is Let Spiritual Light and the Water of Knowledge Reach Every Place in the World. Let spiritual light and water of knowledge reach every place in the world. Today, Bab and Dada had a heart-to-heart conversation in the subtle region. Thank you. As well as that, they also looked at the splendor of the children. They were very pleased to see the splendor of the variety of children in Madhuban, the land of blessings at the present time. Just as there are many connections of light from a physical powerhouse, so Bab Dada saw how many connections have gone from the powerhouse of Madhuban. How many connections have gone from the powerhouse of Madhuban? In how many corners of the world have connections of light already been made? And in how many places have there not been made any connections? Governments today try to make sure that there is definitely light and water everywhere in every corner. They definitely try to make that there is light in every corner. The Ganges, governments today try to make sure that there is definitely light and water everywhere in every corner and village of their countries. So what is the Pandava government doing? So I think Bab Dada here being very clever and reminding us that the things that we take for granted as facilities in the Lokik world, and I've now made you responsible for the world in a spiritual way. So using that analogy that there has to be light and water for a physical person to survive, that is a basic necessity. So now for the soul, the basic necessity is also having light and water. So Baba's explaining what the light and the water is. So he said, I have sent you from the powerhouses, but how aware are you of that? As spiritual Pandava governments, the Ganges of knowledge are going everywhere. The connections of light with the powerhouse are going everywhere. When you look at the cities and the towns from up above, you can see that there are some places that have light. It is very clearly visible whether there are lights close to one another or whether they are spread out far apart. Bab Dada also saw the view from the subtle region of how many places the light has reached and how many places still have to receive it. All of you also know the result and how there are still many places that need to be given that connection in this land and abroad. And I think that's also wonderful when Baba takes us up to the subtle region, or, when he sits up in the subtle region and he reminds us that, I am at this time in my Brahmin birth, I am also in the place of being an angel who sits in the subtle region. So I have to check as well, just like Bab Dada is seeing today. Can I also be in my angelic stage and check, what places have I covered? What places have I given the light to? What places have I rained the clouds of knowledge on? And what places are still dry? So Baba taking us up in that, so we can be in that essence and that remembrance and be in my angelic stage, just as Bab Dada is. So Baba says, unless a place has light and water, it has no value. In the same way, What is the condition of living souls where there is no supply of spiritual light or water of knowledge? They are in darkness and wandering around, very thirsty and desperate. What value would you say there is of so much soul? And when I was reading this, I also found it very enlightening in a way for myself as a Brahmin, because for 63 births and even now, we tend to, when we look at someone in darkness, for example, someone has a bit of an ego, they have anger issues, or I have relationship issues with them, I tend to blame them. So I tend to say, obviously, as we have a conversation, there is something going on. And I tend to always, because I'm uncomfortable with the situation, I end up automatically blaming the other person. Or if not that, my heart just wants that should change, that should change, that should change. So I want them to, they're in darkness in a spiritual context. They are in darkness, so they don't know, but I want them to change. But here Baba's bringing the responsibility back on us, responsibility and the joy that I'm the one who can spread the light, that I'm the one who can give the rain of knowledge. I'm the one who can be the Gyani tu Atma. When I see darkness around, when I see someone not being their pure self, that is the place, that is the time I can take the opportunity, remind myself that yes, I am the Pandava government, and that's when I can step in and go, yes, this is where I give the light. And for me, the easiest way, Baba says 3 types of sevas we can do, mansa, vacha, karmana. The easiest way is to just give them the light. The easiest and the most powerful, if I might add, most powerful way is to give the sakash, give them light, give them love from my heart, being in my authority, being in my stage of being the Pandava government. And then they obviously benefit. And then I can also create the sanskar, finishing off the old sanskars of the old 63 births. Now I'm creating the sanskar of being an angel and then being a devta or a deity. So Baba is saying they are in darkness and wandering around, very thirsty and desperate. What value would you say there is of such souls? You have created a picture showing souls as worthless as shells and as valuable as diamonds. When they receive the light and the water of knowledge, they change from shells into diamonds, and their value thereby increases. Bap Dada saw that the children who have come from this land and abroad are going back to their respective places, having taken special power from the powerhouse. On the one hand, out of love for the children, Bap Dada feels that the decoration of Madhuban, that is, the decoration of Bap Dada's home, is leaving. So whenever children come to Madhuban and their sweet home, what is the splendor of Madhuban? You children also understand that your loving companions have come to increase the splendor of Madhuban. All of you remember Madhuban while doing everything, and that memory remains constantly fresh. So Madhuban, our eternal home, my always home. So if I remember that, and because it's such a powerful place, whatever I do there, Baba says, I can take that power with me. It's like a jump start that I got. So when I go out, so wherever I am living, where I'm going out, Baba says, stay in the smriti, stay in the awareness that you are at your service place. That is a service place, and your constant home is Madhuban, and that you are the splendor of Madhuban. So while all of you remember Madhuban while doing everything, and that memory remains constantly fresh in the same way, Bap Dada and the Madhuban residents always remember all of you too, as well as love, Service is also a special subject, and that is why, out of love, you feel that you just have to stay here. However, in terms of service, you have to go everywhere. The time will come when you won't need to go anywhere, but all the moths will automatically come to the flame from everywhere in one place. You see how Abu belongs to you. This is just a small sample. You now had to rent places for accommodation, but even then, you only saw a little spark. The time will come when angels will be visible everywhere. Now it is a part of service through words that is being played, and a little of that still remains to be done. This is why you have to go far, far away. So Baba being very clever, when we feel like we're away from my home, Madhuban, Baba says you are far, far away for a reason, and you're still trying to wake people up in little corners, little visible hidden corners, which they don't know where to come. So we're just going and finding them in like a search party, bringing them back home. You were told earlier about elevated service through thoughts. At the end too, it will be from this form of service that will be clearly visible. They will feel that someone is calling them with pure thoughts through a divine intellect. Through that divine intellect, they will be able to see the Father and the place. Everyone will very quickly reach their elevated destination with both types of experiences. Will you do this? What will you do this year? You have made effort well. This year you will give light. So Baba's telling us what we should do, what we can do. This year you will give light to every place that remains anyway. But you have to reveal the speciality of every place this year. This year, reveal the speciality of every place. The big service centers in particular must have a name, just as you sometimes have a name for a religious conference in order to gather people of all religions or to invite politicians and scientists and have different snehimilans, loving gatherings or meetings. Similarly, this year in every place, prepare people of all types of different occupations and form relationships with them. At present, you say that here you have those from East and also the West. That is, in one place you have people from all castes, countries, and religions, etc. In the same way, they should say that you have people here from all occupations. Let all the special souls be visible in just one bouquet of various flowers. Let there be a gathering of special souls of every occupation at every center, so that the sound spreads throughout the world, that the one Father and this one true knowledge is so easy for those of all occupations. That is, let people of all different occupations be visible together on the stage at every service center. No occupation should be left out. Let the unique sparkle be visible of having all varieties, from the poor to the wealthy, from those from villages to those from big cities, from laborers to senior administrators. Let all special souls of all varieties be there, so that no one can ask, is this spiritual knowledge only for certain types of people? So I think Baba being very Vishal Buddhi, or being a little bit clever in how he approaches, how he wakes up people, how he wakes up different people, because different people need different types of knowledge, or they need different triggers for them to accept, or they need different proofs for them to accept. that yes, what Baba says is the truth. So Baba's going on about you can be different administrators, or they can be different types of wealthy people, poor people. They should be people from all stratas. So people then, I think we've kind of done that now with all the service that everyone's been doing over the years, that I don't think anyone's sort of left out. We have so many wings, we have so many people, different varieties, every country. So I think that kind of wakes up, if that's like a little trigger for even one soul, someone needs, oh, really? Can God's knowledge be for everyone? That, someone who's at the moment, the president, at the highest post can be a BK, or someone who's just a little daily wager laborer, can they also be a BK? And, what does that actually mean? So Baba's saying the spiritual knowledge, is it only for certain types of people? Some people do have that question that it is for. So Baba's, proving that, and through different types of service and sending people in every corner, he's kind of brought that tick box that someone might need, who knows. And I think maybe it's a good reminder for us as well, that no matter what I am, where I am, who I am, what I do, all of that, whatever my external circumstances are, this is the spiritual knowledge of God. So the Father of all is for everyone. Everyone, from children to great-grandfathers, should experience this knowledge to be especially for them. Just as only one sound emerges from the minds and hearts of all of you Brahmins, and that is, what is that lovely sound that we all love? Our Baba, Mera Baba. In the same way, let souls of every occupation in every corner of the world say from their hearts that the Father has come for them, and that this knowledge is the support for them. This is the sound that should emerge from all types of souls everywhere about the bestower of knowledge and the knowledge itself. You do continue to serve those of all the different occupations, but let there be every type of variety at every place. Then and I also found that to be an interesting little point for myself as well. And, when we go out to serve, or, whoever we come in relationship with, even throughout the day, if you're in the awareness that I'm serving, whether it's through your mouth, your words, your actions, or you're constantly just giving sakash because you are in that awareness, you encounter different types of people. Of course, there's your maid at home, you've gone to buy vegetables, there's supermarket, you've gone shopping, you're working, your driver's there, or there's your neighbor, or there's people you've just strangers you're walking past on the street, or on the train, or on the road. So there's different types of people. And I think sometimes in our minds as well, if we check, there can be a limitation for how I serve or who I serve to. Sometimes sometimes we connect with a certain strata of people a little bit more comfortably and a little bit more automatically than we do with others. And I think Baba's bringing about the awareness back into how do I serve? Baba always asks, are you world servers, or are you only serving your little center or your little place? So if I can be comfortable with, Baba bringing about, can you let every type of variety at every place? So if I bring that awareness about myself, that, whether the point I was saying is that there are some people that we're more comfortable with, giving sakash to, and there's certain people that I'm more comfortable with speaking knowledge to, or physically doing service at a center, for example, going to Baba's home. So I think enlarging my own consciousness. Is there somewhere where I get stuck? Is there certain types of people, certain types of souls that I naturally avoid? Not on a conscious level, but I tend to just avoid. So maybe today can be a good day for myself to check, is there certain souls that I avoid, or that I'd rather not pay attention to in terms of service? So maybe I can bring about this variety and then check within myself, because I'm very sure, I think if we choose to check, we can definitely see, yes, there is something, and that little point will help me to strengthen myself and, take me in a realm that I don't normally knock into. I don't normally open that door. So hopefully that, and I'm very sure that will bring a little bit more different sort of a power in my soul as well. So Baba says, you do continue to serve all of those of different occupations, but now let there be every type of variety at every place. Then bring a bouquet of all of those from the variety of occupations to Bab Dada. Then every center will become a special living museum of the gatherings of all the souls of the world. Do you understand? Form relationships with all of those who are in contact with you and then bring them onto the stage of service. From time to time, continue to bring onto the stage of service all the VIPs and journalists who have come. Then, when those souls themselves speak through their lips, that will become the way to bind them to God. If they just say that this is very good once and then become distant, they forget. But if they continue to say, this is good many times in front of others, then those words will also become a means to increase the enthusiasm to become good. As well as that, there is also a subtle law that however many are influenced by them, the one who influences them also receives a share. That is, a treasure store is accumulated in his or her account of charity. That treasure store of charity, that is, the charitable elevated deeds, will continue to pull that soul to become elevated. Therefore, whatever they themselves have taken directly from the Father's land, whether a little or a lot, enable them to donate it. That is, enable them to do this service. So not just strengthening my own stage and service, Baba is saying also enable others. Also enable others to become strong in service. They should have that enthusiasm, the same as I do. Just as they receive the fruit of donating physical wealth in the form of a birth in a kingdom, in the same way, donating the wealth of knowledge and their experiences will make them worthy of coming into the new kingdom. They have become very impressed. Now, make the souls who have been impressed do service and make them move forward with the strength of that service and make them instruments for many others. Do you understand what you have to do? Service is increasing and will continue to increase. However, now create a variety of students in each class. So Baba, again, coming back to creating a variety. And I found that to be such a wonderful new point. We can look at it just on a physical level. The Baba says, yes, you need accountants, you need the sweepers, you need laborers, you need plumbers, you need, politicians, you need administrators on a physical level as well. But then what speciality each of that soul becomes, but then also stripping away the titles and what they actually hold to going back to the soul level. So it's a variety of a bouquet. It's a wonderful little point Baba's drilling into us today. So, and however, now create a variety of students in each class. Now, in this year's season, the turn of all of those from abroad meeting Bab Dada in the corporeal form is coming to an end. However, those from this land are being invoked because as you were told, the system has to be according to the time in the corporeal world. Whereas, so lucky us and fortunate us, we're time bound in this land. And, we are, Baba says, you have to be ahead of time. You have to be the conqueror of time. So according to the time in the corporeal world, whereas in the subtle region, you are free from this bondage. Acha. So Baba's love for us, to all the spiritual children everywhere who have zeal and enthusiasm, to the souls, the children who are close and who constantly experience themselves to be with the Father, to the elevated souls who remain constantly stable in remembrance of the One. Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Okay, Om Shanti. So would we like to open up the board for everyone to share their thoughts on anything that's touched them, anything that's excited them, anything that's shaken them? Anyone would like to share?
Sister will do that after a minute of silence.
Sure.
Om Shanti. Sister, I think we can start sharing.
Okay, Om Shanti. Maybe we can open up the board if anyone wants to share.
Om Shanti, sister.
Do you like? Yeah.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
What a journey Baba is taking us in these Murlis. Yesterday, Bab Dada was watching us and saying, sitting here, he can see beautiful jewels. He called all of us jewels of life with a soul like jewel. And then yesterday, Baba really made us saying that my children are great magicians because they know how through love they can really, or patofy father and all. But today, if you see, Baba has become like a government. Like if you see in any government or what we call in India as the election manifestos, when people give over here. And now, according to me, what was very, very rampant in Indian elections was they used to call it as Modi ki guarantee. I shall give you this, give you that, gas shall come, this deposit and all. But here, see, Baba is just saying still every person, whoever is a representative of a particular village, the first thing they would like that village to be connected to every city. So the basic thing, as Baba said, light and water. And he connects that over here when he says light, water of knowledge and the light connections. So what is that light connection? What is that Sakash which Baba is giving us? And the way he's saying, first he says, the people who have come to Madhuban, oh my children, you're going, I'm feeling so bad that you're going. He doesn't want the children to go. But he says, because there are two things, the love. But he says there's a second part, service. So go out. Spread this Ganges of knowledge, spread the spiritual light everywhere, so that from this big powerhouse, Madhuban, when you go out, all these wandering, thirsty souls. So it's just like a service point which Baba has given us. So as you rightly said, so when I have a trip to Madhuban and come back, I should just see what are the new things have I done? Because they just say, we come so nice from Madhuban, say for 1 month. After that, we fade off. But we should see what have we done, either for the self. Even self is important. It's not there. If suppose I have lost me, then I cannot. So it's something nice I do. I like the way Baba takes this analogy.
Yeah.
And then second point, I was just thinking, what is the subtle region? Maybe Baba is doing a recheck. Madhuban, okay, a recheck from subtle region because it's high subtle region. So maybe he's doing a check to see, okay, let me see which all cities have the spiritual light, which all cities have water. Or then he'll pick up from that and say, see, you just came to Madhuban, come on, do something. It's something very, a kind of interesting story to
Yeah.
Auntie.
Definitely. And I think those analogies of using light, obviously we know it's the light of knowledge, but any light, it needs like a physical connection. If we've got lights running now, it needs a connection. So I can't spread light unless I have a connection. I need that connection. I can be a good soul. I can be, I can still have good qualities in me. I can still have good sanskars in me. But to spread the light to the world, that's, I think, what I don't want to say that it sets BKs apart from the other good people in the world, but I think it's a good reminder that me as a BK, what is my responsibility, especially when Baba says, he's given me the title today of the Pandava government, that, I'm the government, the Pandava government. So, I can have all those specialities. I can be a good soul. I can be very helpful. I can be very serviceable. I can have a lot of love for humanity. But for me to shine the light, I do need to have that connection. I can't just be a nice little bulb within myself, self-contained. Baba says for us to be the government, be a proper BK server, I need to have that connection to the powerhouse. And that's such a beautiful analogy. For light to flow, a bulb can't just be a bulb. It needs to have wires running. I've got that blood flowing. My connection is today is bringing it to the subtle region, that I am linked, all my wires are linked straight from here up to the subtle region. And I think that's maybe if we can say that's like a special power that we has as BKs, that the subtle region created just for us Brahmins to be the angels at this time. But that link with the powerhouse, that Brahma Baba, that number one soul, Bab Dada, that link has to be there for me to be able to spread that light. So that was, me being the light, being the Pandava government, so being in that awareness, and then being the water analogy that Baba used. Water flows. Water is great when it's in a glass, of course, but it has to flow. So it has to be an energy change. There has to be an energy exchange. I have to not expend, but I have to live. I have to keep going. I have to keep experiencing. So again, Baba bringing back, linking that to the variety that, we've all gone, in my heart, our home is Madhuban. If I don't know if there's, how many of us have been to Madhuban, but the ones that have and have both essential for daily life, yes. So, when we go into Baba's hut, when I go into the history hall, when I go into, onto the tower, on the Tower of Peace, when I sit there, the comfort that I feel, that feeling of being at home, that feeling of what I originally am, that feeling is such a wonderful, powerful feeling. And I can't imagine, as sister was also sharing earlier, I can't imagine being anywhere else or feeling that anywhere else. But then Baba's saying I have to take that and then I have to flow onto different service places, if I can say. All of us have unique qualities. All of us live in a different corner of the world. If I look around where I'm staying at the moment, there'll be a different type of people everywhere. So I can serve the street that I'm in. If I have that awareness that, yes, I'm the Pandava government. So the government, they send out officials in all corners. If I'm looking after a county or a township or a district, I will be, the head. There's a head office, like the headquarters where they sit, and then they send their workers. They send their workers out onto the field. So I can imagine that I'm like that. I have a headquarter, but then I have to go and serve out in the field. And then every one of us has a different speciality. My speciality might be, dealing with animals, for example, or it might be, enjoying, going through difficult terrains, which others might not. So my speciality, and then I have to kind of pump myself up. I'm in this place for a reason. And then how I can link my essence of my being back to my original, which is at the moment as servers, just need to go back to the subtle region, take that power from there, and then as the water just flow. And as rightly sister said before, that water always flows. Both of these are essential. Now we can't imagine life. I don't know if there's ever been life without light and water. We need light on a physical level as well. And of course, we need water. Without that, we won't have bodies. Earth kind of exists on water. So I have to now be the light of knowledge. And then I can check that in little moments of my day as well, throughout my day as well. And how much of that do I bring onto about in my mundane tasks as well? Little tasks I have to do, people I have to deal with on a daily basis, but it's not a very official or a very, it's not a very different sort of a meeting. It's people I meet every day, simple little things I do, as we were saying, just going out, buying vegetables, going about your day, your mates come, your watchman's there, whatever, that kind of interactions. How can I bring about this awareness of being the light and the water in my daily life as well? Someone wants to share? Did someone have their mic on, wants to share something? Is that just by accident?
Yeah, I just thought maybe somebody else may be waiting to share. So I was holding on because we have a lot of so many of them, I just wait to listen to things. But just one point I wanted to say. When you said Madhuban, I remember I heard from the seniors. It's those days when the sisters were sent for, especially Manor Dadi. I've heard from her, she used to say when they returned from their service places, Brahma Baba used to stand in that corner opposite his room here that side. No, there's a place turning. He used to wait there to see his children are coming. And when they are coming, he used to, raise his hands and welcome them. And they all used to go to Baba's room. And then Baba used to see them tired. Sometimes they used to say Baba used to massage their feet. And then they used to tell service and all places what they saw, how they, and Baba used to listen with interest. So, that kind of a going, not reporting, like sent out and going. She used to say it used to be so wonderful. And Baba used to say, yeah, it's nice this. Did you see this? And sometimes Baba used to give us news as if he was there in that place. Then, of course, everything became later in the form of service reports and all, when Brahma Baba wasn't there. But still, Dadiji and all they used to get. But that one scene, I remember Brahma Baba standing there and waiting for these children who have gone to the service places. I just that. I'll wait to listen to the other people.
Yeah. I think that's very wonderful because, sometimes again, we are all on different stages. We all have different hearts and different things. But, sometimes some of us might have the thought, I didn't get to see those moments in the practical, in the sakar form. But then also well, for myself, I tell my heart that, maybe it's the time to create those moments myself. When we hear these moments, getting to spend such a lovely, jovial, such a light time with Bap Dada or Saka Baba, even, just spending time like that. And maybe I got to spend that or not, but now what I can do is maybe create those experiences for myself. And then again, if I, want to become like Brahma Baba, can I bring about that love? A sister was sharing that, Baba listened with so much love and with so much interest that people just wanted to run to him and just share even little things or big things or, service news. People just wanted to run to him and tell him everything. So can I become like that? If I want to be like Baba, I want to become like Baba Dada, equal to Baba. Can I become like that? Can I become that magnet? And what can I do to become that being, that magnet that people want, that feel joy in just coming to me? So, bringing about that consciousness, using the wonderful example of Brahma Baba, and how can I bring that into my life that I can become like that? Not to copy, not to seek out other people's, of course, not in an ego way, but how can I have that? Baba had such lightness, he was such a wonderful, that even when we were sharing, sisters will come and brothers will come and share anything. They just wanted to share their hearts out, small things, big things, because they felt so accepted. They felt so accepted and they felt so loved. And that's the power Brahma Baba worked on. That's the power he had. And obviously, he worked on that. And that's why now we know he's number one. But then if I want to copy my father, and I want to become like him, how can I imbibe some of those values in my life as well? It's a wonderful little anecdote. Thank you for sharing.
Om Shanti. So Baba says, Baba says that, when there is no light in a place, right, then there is no value, light or water, right, in a place, then there is no value for that place. And then similarly, people have no knowledge, right, and, their life is like a shell. It does not have any value. So when they get this knowledge, then they change from shells into diamonds, where the value of their life increases. And then when they go on with the journey, they feel that, okay, everybody should feel at some point that our Baba has come for us, right, for them. And this knowledge will definitely will become a support for them in their life. That is the feel that everyone should get. So this water has to flow. So we have to do that sort of a service. That's what Baba is expecting from us. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Adding on to what Vijay just mentioned, the water and the light that Baba is using as an analogy today, he says, will support those people who haven't or who have been in darkness to become diamond from shell. So one reflection is, what do you mean by diamond from shell? In today's world, we all are stuck on a lot of material things just to be achieved, and there's too much of body consciousness. So by sprinkling this water and the spread of the light, one gets into the understanding of who I am as the soul. So one transformation is from body consciousness to coming to soul consciousness. And then once a person or the living being experiences the soul consciousness, then everything spreads from there. If I am a soul, the other person is also a soul on a journey. So the grief changes into grace. We start understanding each human being, and life becomes peaceful. From pieces, it becomes from PIECE to PEACE. Now that's the beauty of transforming a shell into a diamond. These are few reflections, and I'm sure everything will flow once we know that that diamond is nothing but stabilizing in soul consciousness. Shanti.
Yeah, and I think that's such a lovely point, Sister Raki, that, because shell is a very brittle sort of we all know shells, we've seen seashells. They're brittle, they are beautiful, but they're very brittle. They're very brittle. Diamond, on the other hand, is very rock hard. It's the hardest substance we have, obviously. We all know that as well. And so the quality, Baba shares that from shells into diamonds, from being like a brittle that anyone can step on me and crush me. It's very easy to crush. So, a shell is very easily influenced. If you look at it on a soul level, we're very easily influenced. Someone said something, okay, yes. Someone said something, no. We're very easily influenced, whether it's like a positive influence or, the environment's influencing me, my events are influencing me, other souls are influencing me. So a shell is very brittle. It's not very, but it does cover, it does give shade to a pearl, so obviously it has its own quality as well. So, it's not like we can discard it, but but it's very brittle if we compare it to a diamond. So Baba's taking us from this fragile, little brittle, still a beautiful thing. Shells are very beautiful thing. We collect them. They're beautiful in all varieties. So it's changing us from this brittle little soul that gets hurt, this energy that gets hurt very easily. It gets influenced and can be crushed very easily. It's beautiful when we look after it and we keep it on in a very perfect environment. You bring about a shell, you keep it in your showcase and you look after it well, it's absolutely fine. But the moment any circumstance comes and steps on it or touches it wrongly or it drops, any circumstance comes, it does not know how to handle that. That's the shell. So now Baba wants us, we're still beautiful if we're just sitting there. But unfortunately, or, as per the drama, not unfortunately, as per the drama, things are not the same. Things happen, we get dropped, we get stepped on, we get crushed. So now he wants us to become like diamonds. He wants us from this beautiful shell to become into as hard as a diamond, as hard as solid. Nothing can crush me, nothing can influence me because I am so strong in my values. I'm so strong in my power. I'm so hardened, not in the wrong way. I'm so, I'm so pakka in what I believe in, my values. There's no pores inside of me. Every single stage of my soul, every single being, every single circumstance I've been in, and I've passed that test. So every time a test comes, I strengthen myself. Every time a circumstance comes, I come across a variety of people, of different people, ones that I, align with well, ones that I don't know, ones I've never encountered. So every sort of that circumstances, every situation, that strengthens me and hardens me so much that I am full. I'm so full of, hopefully God's values and God's love and my powers. Baba says you should always be full of all powers. I want to see you full of every power. I want to see you full. So I'm now so strong as a diamond that I can shine. And then, the beautiful other quality of a diamond, it's powerful, it's strong, it can't be broken. But now I can also, it shines so brilliantly. Now my fullness, the work I've done on my strength, my power, it shines that light to the world. It just needs a little, from what we like, it just needs a little sparkle of light, and it can spread that light, and so beautifully. It's not just spreading light, but it's so beautiful to look at. That beauty and that joy. So I think that's a wonderful little point, that we are becoming from shells into diamonds, but then we can also help others. We can nurture them as a shell when they're soft and brittle and a little bit insecure. We can nurture. We have the power to take them and fill them slowly, slowly, slowly with Baba's power, and then transform them. Remind them that they can be strong. So bringing about that power and becoming, and then being a beautiful a beautiful shining diamond, the light that Baba wants us to be for the world.
But I also like that point of every corner, every world. And I was thinking, how is Baba going to check which corner is left untouched? And that final, the key word which Baba says, children to great-great-grandfather, all will say, Baba has come. Because he is father of all for everyone. I think that is what we BK should remember. He is father of all for everyone. And he will not come down till every child in this globe or every corner has been touched. So that part also I liked. And he is speaking about this variety. Sister, before I finish, I just wanted to ask you, I hope I'm right. Have I heard you singing? I just want to know, because there's one more Harman Kaur who sings. So I just wanted to know, is it you?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my God, I've heard you, but I didn't. First time I'm seeing you, sister, on the club. I don't know if the admin permits. Before you end, we would really love to listen to a song from you. I don't know, something latest which one I had heard was, I think, Shukriya Baba Aapka, I think.
Probably.
This is one point of our Baba I want to say, and I was waiting to know whether you are the one whom I heard sing. So if Rakiben says, I would appreciate if we could hear you singing.
Yes, we'll
I leave it to sister to take a call. But Girijaben, just to let you know, Harman Ben had come here a couple of times. She's also conducted a master class for us. And in that class itself, we'd ask her to sing. So if, sister, we all would love to. We leave it to you. If it works for you, please do.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I think, do we have a few more minutes? Anyone else like to share before we wrap up? I think we have a couple of comments, chats, if someone wants to read them out. So someone's, Radha Maniji has said, I, the soul, belongs to the Pandava government to spread the spiritual light and the water of knowledge to every corner of the world. I think that's a beautiful swaman to have for the day, that I'm a Pandava government, spreading the spiritual light and the water of knowledge to every corner of the world. That's lovely. Anyone else would like to share a thought before we, or should we wrap up?
Let's move on to meditation, sister, with your song.
Sure. So we'll just sing a song, or did you want a commentary, or are we okay with that?
Yeah, okay with the song, just a song, that's also fine.
Okay, and Hindi is okay, or English we prefer? Anything?
Or either would be
Either's okay. Okay. So, sister mentioned. Not sure what I've sung earlier on this platform, so maybe I'll sing. I was just remembering, because we were talking about Madhuban, I was remembering a song that, some lines came to me. I was sitting on the Tower of Peace, our beautiful Shanti Stham in Madhuban, that I was just looking at it and I saw that there's wonderful pillars that take us to my fullness. And I think that for me, the Tower of Peace kind of gleams the light. It's like the foundation. For me, always, I imagine, I always imagine that to be the powerhouse of the world. So maybe we'll sing a song that came from there. And I might have sung that earlier as well, but anyway, we'll sing it again. Tall branches are hanging off the edge. Across the ground lay my hopes and dreams. Walking across with my bare feet, holding my breath to unfold the mystery. I'm waiting for the sun to rise. I'm waiting to shine bright. I want to stand tall like a pillar to the moon. I want to see it all, to let my wisdom bloom. The stillness of my mind lets me stand tall like a pillar to the moon, 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 like a pillar to the moon.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Harman Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. And let's all keep shining with the light and keep pouring the water of knowledge on the world around. Let's have a beautiful day. We meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.